Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Is it
Last few.
what?
The last 5, it's okay.
Okay. Oh, I just picked up on what you guys were saying. See what I said about my random 2 SC points that popped up in back office?
I didn't see that what you said. I saw that you had sent something, but I didn't see it yet.
Like, I went to check my SC points, and I had to, and I was like, those aren't supposed to be there. And I looked who it was, and they said a coach named Catherine Merrick signed up. I don't know who that is. And they're not in my genealogy. They're not in my...
Do you get, like, coach leads?
No.
That is? Oh.
That's weird.
Because I didn't hit SC10 last month, so, like, I would have to hit SC10 to get that one.
To get those leads. I have a question about that, actually. So people that, like, you get as, like, Success Club leads after hitting, like, SC10, do you get commission on those people? Just not Success Club points?
You can get Success Club points. I have before.
Like, I didn't get points. Like, someone ordered, like, a challenge pack. But, like, I didn't get points for her, but I got, like...
I could swear that I did before, but maybe I'm lying.
Okay. But I did... It looked like I was getting commission. I was like,
yeah, you'll definitely get commission. So SC10 is a good goal because you get random money. It's nice. Okay, so apparently I'm at SC4 instead of SC2, so that's nice.
Yay!
I no fault of mine. So I don't know. What are you guys doing every day to get your SC points?
I've been kind of sucking, honestly. I've got, like, I'm really good at the beginning of the month, and then I get discouraged, and I am bad at being consistent once I am discouraged, so.
I feel I'm trying to turn it into, like, fire now, though, that, like, I'm gonna get SC5 and they're gonna give me those points whether I earned them or not.
I was so confident at the beginning of the month because I had so many people that I had been talking to that I was like, they're for sure, like, somebody's gonna do it.
Right. And then the objections come and you're like,
yeah.
I've been like that too. Like, in the end of January, like, once I hit SC10 in January, and, like, I was like, all right, like, I want to, like, stop because, like, I was like, I'm gonna, like, save anything else for February, and I really, like, I thought that I had it, like, in the bag for, like, February 5th, and, like, did not happen. Obviously,
I've had that happen before in a month too, where I had like 3 people that were ready to go, and then none of them purchased.
It's annoying.
And, like, I get, like, I mean, people aren't, like, I'm not gonna be like, well, I really needed to happen this month. Like, the, like, coach that I have that, like, really wants to start coaching, like, she really will, but she's like, I just don't know if I can, like, do it this week. Like, I might have to do it next week.
Right.
And I was like, okay. Like, which, I mean, I know is fine, but I was like, okay. But
Jen, I have a question for you real quick while I'm thinking of it. So you had said that Emily switched to you, right?
No. So she actually, what I said ended up not even happening. But it wasn't Emily. She didn't have a coach. But Sydney, who was also in her challenge group, did. She, like, switched to me, but she didn't actually end up switching.
Okay.
Because, so I would say, I don't know.
Wait,
it was, like, fine to me because, like, it was still great to have them in the challenge group, but I don't know. I'm, like, not very much of a follow through of, like, you have to switch first. I don't know.
Well, okay, so Rachel, who's in our group right now.
Yeah.
She had a coach. She's the one, like, her coach wasn't doing any challenge groups, whatever. So I told her to switch to me, and Coach Relations told her she can't.
Why? Yeah, she can.
Because she had to do it within 5 days of purchasing her challenge pack.
No.
And I was like, that's not right.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to switch at any time.
You can,
like,
but she's not a coach, right?
No, she's not a coach.
Just signed up as a customer.
Yes.
So that would be what it would be if she was signed up as a coach. Does she have like a coach ID or anything?
I don't think so. Maybe she did sign up as a coach for the discount.
Might be
just
It might be just that you can't get the commission because, like, my cousin Maria, who's been in like a ton, she's in like all of She, when she signed up with 21 Day Fix, she just like got on and like did it and like didn't like say something to me. And she had bought like P90X like 4 years ago or something crazy like that. And so like when she went to put in like my coach ID, it wouldn't let her. So she was like, oh, well, no big deal. So then like after the fact, when she went in to switch, they told her like she could switch to having me as her coach like for the future, which she did. But, like, I didn't get credit for the original challenge pack. That makes sense.
Right.
Like I wasn't allowed to get the commission, but she switched me, and then like in the future, like when she kept doing Shakeology, like I got that commission.
We're supposed to get it.
You know what? I think Rachel is signed up as a coach. So that's why she can't switch.
So yeah, that's why she can't switch. So that's a lot trickier. For her to switch, she would have to like cancel her account for like 6 months and then she can sign back up.
So I should just leave it.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Unless she has like multiple email addresses, right? Maybe.
And multiple social security numbers.
I forgot about that part. I was just forgetting the email.
And
Okay.
if she has that,
You better hope.
Unless we steal someone's identity.
yeah, if she has multiple social security numbers, ask her about that.
Maybe you don't want her in your job group. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so Jen, I was thinking about the budget clean eating group, and I don't want you to feel like overwhelmed that it's all on you to create this thing.
Okay.
Do you
I don't know. I guess I just like do this. But whenever I like came up with it, I like had this like great, like huge ideas, and I don't think it has to be huge. Like I think you're right. So then I was like, I can't like do that right now, but I still think it's a good idea for us to do. I was just like, then I was like, oh my gosh, I like cannot do this by like next week or whatever. So then I like freaked out and I didn't want to let you guys down.
I'll send you some, like I found some pins of like budget clean eating that
I have some on my page too.
or like budget meal plans for clean eating. I can't remember exactly what they were. Something like that could be useful to use.
And I was thinking like a lot of us probably like do already, like not spend very much money. Like
none of us are rolling eating over here.
So yeah, I still think it like I mean we could do it in like March. I think I just like then I got like I don't know. I got really overwhelmed in February like with like I think I let like Team Cup kind of like overwhelm me because I was like trying to like do two teams, like be a part of two teams. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so I was thinking of having our challenge group start on, what's the date that I said in my post? March 7th. Because that would be like right when our current girls could roll over into the new group. Because that group will end on the 8th, if I'm thinking correctly. Am I doing that math correctly? I don't know.
I don't know.
I like having the group start like closer to the beginning of the month because I feel like, not surprisingly, like most of the challengers that I get usually like sign up the last week of the month so that I like have something to do with them. Versus like when we start on like the 20th or whatever, and it's like you either like put them in a group that's already started or they have to wait like their entire 21 days. So.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. So then maybe if we did the clean eating group on March 14th that week.
That sounds good.
And then you can still have time to get points from those coaches. That
for the end of March.
I need to count up our legs group total and see who won. That's a reminder. Okay. Okay, so hey, let's talk about form. I actually watched some good videos about this, so that could be helpful. And they gave like scenarios if you're like in the grocery store to how to talk people up. So form stands for family, occupation, recreation, and message. And so here's a scenario that they gave was that like if you're in a grocery store line, you start a conversation about the long grocery store line, and then you could, like if you, their scenario was they were moms, and so they like noticed some juice boxes in the other cart and said, oh, how old are your kids? And I was thinking like for us, you could say like, hey, my husband and I like to eat that or something. I don't know. And then they turned from that into asking about like, do you live around here? What do you do for your work or whatever? And then slowly funneled into like having a way to contact each other. So that was the scenario.
Really extreme for a grocery store.
Like you had, I sometimes to say like get
Right.
somebody's number at the line at Kroger.
But I think this was a real scenario that worked for her. So it sounded like she was talking from experience with this one. But yeah, I agree. Because usually the topic is, man, it's hot outside today.
I mean, like GoPro kind of talks about that, but I remember when I read GoPro also being like, what? Like, how am I going to get everything?
That's pretty extreme. So they said that form also goes with the acronym SIGN, which is strength, interests, goals, and needs. And for me, I feel like I use form more. I'll touch on this more in a minute in like messaging. So like if I see a post from someone, then sometimes I'll message them about it and be like, your kids are so cute, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, stuff like that. So first, SIGN is like showing interest in the person and their family and their life, acknowledging their strengths. So maybe you could like compliment something that they did, that they posted about on Facebook. Find some kind of connection, look for their goals, and think about how you can fill their needs. So, I mean, obviously people love to talk about themselves and they want to feel like you're interested in them and they want to feel like you care and that you're genuine. I'm like, they're not going to trust you if they don't feel like they trust you, so like building that rapport with someone. Like I've done this a couple times recently, but like they're not going to be current challenge packs, like it's going to be down the line where I'm having conversations about, like I was messaged a girl that I know from high school, and her son was they just discovered, he's like 2 or 3, and they just discovered that they think he had a stroke when he was in utero and that he has some kind of cerebral palsy. Like you wouldn't know that looking at him, but like, so she was talking to me about that. But so building that rapport and the trust there, like I could see that leading to a challenge pack sometime down the line. But obviously my main goal to talking to her isn't to get that challenge back. It was mainly just to say, hey, here's some support. Here's some resources. So during form, you would talk about their family, occupation, recreation, and connect with a message. So your message would be some way that you could help them or support them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Beachbody in that moment. Because sometimes if it's not Beachbody in that moment, that helps them trust you more. And then later on, you can offer Beachbody and maybe they'll go for it. So seek out their strengths, their interests, their goals, and their needs. And I was thinking like reaching out on the strengths and interests to start the conversation and then having that trickle into like, because a lot of times when I start talking to people, you guys might experience this too. Like I'll compliment them on something or something like that. And then they'll say, oh, and I'm so impressed with your fitness stuff lately. That's so great. And then I mean, that could translate into their goals and their needs. And usually they'll say something like, man, I really need some of that too, or I need your energy. And I'm like, I don't have energy, but you got to force yourself. I don't have any extra energy. I don't have any extra time in the day.
We all have the same amount of hours in the day as Beyonce.
That is completely true. And it really puts things into perspective. So you may be able to engage a strength or an interest and then translate that into helping a goal or a need. And so I just put in the example that I talked about is like if you see a really cute post, you can message them as opposed to commenting on it, and hopefully that'll get it started. So that's it. Jen, like I said, that's what form is all about, and you probably already do a lot of that stuff, and you just didn't know specifically what.
That makes me feel a little bit better. It was like, well, I'm definitely not going to ask now.
Right. Who said that?
I don't even remember. It was like one of like when I had a snow day. Someone was talking. I don't like remember who it was because I just listen, like I don't look at them, so I like don't remember who they are.
Right.
Whoever it was is like, and we could talk about form, but all of you obviously already know about form or you wouldn't be here, so we don't need to waste our time on that. And I was like, okay.
Oh, me.
Guess I'm not gonna waste your time on that one for sure.
I had that happen one time on the Platinum Legacy is Leslie Cortez's group, and she's Anita's upline, if you guys don't know. And she Mona added me a while back, and I just like commented on a picture to ask what something was, and she was like, that was in the team call, so if you have to ask, you need to go back and look at the team call. That's why you should be on team calls. And I was like, okay, not really on your team, but okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
Not gonna bet, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. But okay. Well, that's what I have. Do you guys have any questions about that or anything else you guys want to talk about?
Thanks for doing that. Makes sense.
Was that helpful at all? I'm gonna stop recording.
Good.